I participated in a tournament hosted by Whistler Plays called Nuzlocke and Load 3. In this tournament, 40 other contestants and I are competing in a Pokémon Legends Arceus hardcore Nuzlocke to see who could get to the end of the game with the fewest deaths and the best time. The encounters are locked in by each player once they enter a location, and if the Pokémon runs away or disappears, the encounter is lost. I've been doing hardcore Nuzlockes on this channel for over a year now, so let's see how I stack up against the competition. The Nuzlocke and Load rule set prevents me from obtaining Rowlet, Cyndaquil, or Oshawott as my starter. So instead, I have to pick between the 3 tutorial Pokemon, Bidoof, Starly, or Shinx. This is one of the many differences for the hardcore division, more on that later. I end up choosing Starly because they're usually quick to flee. Eventually, she's named Bullseye. 3 other early game encounters are obtainable before we move forward, and these are pivotal for escaping the early game. I really wanted to choose Drifloon as an encounter, but it wouldn't have fit with the dynamic of the rest of my team. Or at least that's how I saw it at the time. In Horseshoe Plains, I instead get the fast fire type Ponyta. I should get ready to battle it in case. No! No! Stop it! I'm a little rusty. Okay, I'm gonna have it primed and ready just in case it breaks out. His name is the Kicker. Easy peasy. In Floro Garden, I got a Cascoon to guarantee Dustox, a Pokemon who's usually very consistent in the early games. Her name is Best Buy in honor of my Switch 2 purchase. Not to brag. And this brings me back to Aspiration Hill, where Drifloon is still an option. The problem is that the upcoming Munchlax could just sweep my team with Rollout, so instead, I capture a Shinx named Rage Girl. All things considered, I feel like it's a pretty good team. Some of the natures aren't the greatest, they're actually kind of bad throughout the run, but I don't think it's a bad start to the tournament. Akari has a fast Pikachu with the cheesy Thunder Wave, but Best Buy has Iron Defense, which boosts both defenses in this game. This lets her survive with a full para once or twice, to eventually overpower the Pikachu. Best Goral might have been alright on her own, but Best Buy made it consistent. But it is Mai that I was more afraid of. And oh my gosh, I wasn't afraid enough. Rage Goral leads, and Bite is her best move due to Munchlax's insane special bulk. A crit does 1/3, and their tackle does exactly half. Well, at least we get a free quick attack now. But I need to switch, and Best Buy is the one that comes in and eats a free rollout. In this game, the opponent chooses the move after you switch, kinda like Gen 1. Now, rollout, like many other moves, works differently in this game. Instead of being locked into the move, Munchlax is fixated on using it. When that happens, the move will become stronger on future uses, but the user will take more damage in return. Petal Dance, Ice Ball, Outrage, and Raging Fury work similarly. Best Buy is in the green, but another attack will definitely kill. Once again, I rely on Iron Defense for preservation, and our speed stat enables us to follow up with a Poison Sting. That, unfortunately, doesn't get the poison. When it comes down to it, Best Buy does live the next attack, but now we have to go for the kill. No one can afford to switch in. We're just leveled enough to manage a strong style Poison Sting, our strongest move, but the attack isn't enough, and the last rollout connects. Best Buy didn't die for nothing though, because our Poison Sting did in fact get the poison, and it chips away at the Munchlax, eliminating him that very turn. Oh, Munchlax looks sad now. Yeah, you're a murderer. Checking in on some other runs, Logan the Cosmonaut, a buddy of mine, and the guy who got me involved in this tourney, got through this fight by putting the Munchlax to sleep with his Drifloon, and utilizing the move tutor on his Shinx to get Thunderfang. I didn't think that was available yet. Other contestants, like Stitched Reels and I'm Jams, had a similar strategy, where their Drifloons made way for another Shinx and Eevee respectively to finish the job. I guess there was essentially no reason not to get Drifloon. Whatever, who even needs a bulky Pokemon with 3 immunities and 3 resistances anyways? Besides, how could a Drifloon possibly even help against the Alpha Kricketune with False Swipe, Tackle, Absorb, and Aerial Ace? Riddle me that one. I prove how unnecessary Drifloon is extra hard with the help of my next several encounters. Best Floaty the Buizel is great considering the importance of speed tiers in this game, but an even speedier mon is next. Abra. Okay, wait. Didn't want him anyways, because next we welcome in Chowda, the also fast Pikachu, 100 humans, the very rare but overleveled Chimchar, high expectations for you, buddy, and Bankruptcy the Munchlax that took me like 50 minutes to find. I then grinded the friendship for an hour, but did it wrong and overleveled. Drats. By the way, I named him Bankruptcy because what else could kill Best Buy? What's my strategy? I get all my hands and knees. Please, please! For the Kricketune, I stick with the classics and lead with Rage Girl. At this point, I've taught her the Tutor Fang moves, but Kricketune gets to move first and lands a heavy tackle. Yet, somehow the action order works out so that we can land a Fire Fang and move again. Another hit will clearly do it, but to avoid risking the miss, Chowda switches places. Chowda is fast and strong enough to keep this early game alpha in check, and proceeds to finish them off with a regular and strong style Thundershock. Good guy GK also manages to best the Kricketune deathless with the help of Drifloon and Hypnosis. No, I don't have FOMO, thanks for asking. Anyways, I managed a major battle without a death, so I'm feeling pretty confident now. First things first, let's evolve as many team members as we can. And now, let's catch an alpha. Alphas are guaranteed to have decent crit levels, and this B-Barrel is one of the few alphas that are within the early level caps. But it's still gonna be more difficult to catch. If he breaks out, I'm throwing it again. Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, the alpha has arrived.
Bodyguard joins the rotation, and the encounters he was bodyguarding include Baniri, Scyther, and Machop. Nub Nub, Wario, and Bob are great encounters in their own right, but nothing can beat the onslaught of two big normal types. Warden Leon and his Goomy didn't stand a chance against Bodyguard and her Icy Winds, while Irita's Glaceon barely put a dent in the underleveled Bankruptcy. No one escapes the IRS, buddy. Another rule specifically for the Hardcore division is that each Noble has to be engaged in a Pokemon battle. Luckily, I'm prepared for that thanks to my recent ground Nuzlocke. Kleavor mainly uses Aerial Ace to charge forward and double hit for an AoE attack. His Aerial Ace in particular is easy to cheese, as he gets dizzy if you kite him into the tree. I take this opportunity to battle early and get it over with, and Kleavor manages to immediately set up a double hit, which raises the user's action speed while also raising the damage dealt by 50%. This comes into play somewhat when Bodyguard's Water Pulse doesn't take them out and we get hit by Stealth Rocks. However, Bodyguard maintains her action speed and safely lands a second Water Pulse.
And now we can just Dark Souls this for the rest of it.
And Dark Souls it we do. The Noble fights get way more difficult and stressful later on, but for now, the knockout gives me ample opportunity to throw my bulbs, so the rest of the fight is no big D. Yeah, I'm with it. Nuzlockers like I'm Jams had a similar strategy to mine with their own B-Barrel. And while Blue here isn't an alpha, it did more damage than mine. Okay, Bodyguard, what's up? At the time, I was beginning to see an advantage I had over some, in that my death count was more or less maintained. For now. On day 2 of the tournament, actually all the players get to it when they can, this is really 4 days later. On day 2 I head to the Crimson Mirelands, and I'm just gonna get all my encounters ASAP. No reason not to. Most of this zone is within the reach of my little gamer fingers, and the catch XP will be nice too. Budu is first off, and followed up by the likes of Onyx, Togetic.
What, it lagged? What? I don't even know what I did wrong.
Okay. We stunlock it, we stunlock it, we stunlock it.
Oh, the first try, let's go!
Then Zubat.
Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Huh?
I said Zubat. And finally, a way over-leveled Patillo. There are some more encounters in the Mirelands, but that's where I'm leaving it for now. Togetic in particular I'm happy about, considering I don't have to grind friendship for him. And also, it'll be an invaluable check to Volo towards the end.
Angeled eggs. Like deviled eggs, but it's like an angel? Is that clever or what, guys?
Anyways, I have a way more important task at hand, which is to get yet another friendship evolution. It was around this time that I was really feeling the grind it took to evolve Bankruptcy and even Nub Nub off stream. But their early game power and speed were worth it. Evolving Thornold, the Budu, and the Roselia would also be a strong decision. But after already streaming for an hour today, I decided to just engage the next battle. Volo's early game fight is very weird. He's got 2 baby Pokemon, yet they're somehow beefed up beyond comprehension. And even my Alpha Bodyguard barely cracks this egg. Instead, Togepi's Draining Kiss does equal damage to us while healing everything back. Bankruptcy is clearly a special wall, or that's what he's known for at least. But even still, these 2 homunculi fight on completely equal footing. We use an Agile Tackle to get an early shift on the action order, but again, the Togepi simply heals it all back while the action order remains the same. Plan number 2 evolves using Rock Smash to lower the Togepi's defense, but fails immediately when we don't get it, and they set up Calm Mind.
Defense, defense, defense! Ooh. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. That's actually really bad for me.
At this point, we have to get wild and crazy to make it out. Especially if this thing is able to do this to this thing. So, Thornold, while still a baby, switches in without getting hit, and does unfathomable damage with Poison Sting. I know it's stab and super effective, but how is this comparable to a Snorlax? We don't get the poison, and Tackle almost takes us out. But Calm Mind is worn off. Now Nub Nub enters, and my vibe calculations say that a strong quick attack will finish the job. It doesn't, but Nub Nub endures the hit to finally take out Togepi. And while his Gibble freely gets to use the painful Bulldoze, Nub Nub has Draining Kiss too. That move guarantees our win, and now I don't have to think about Volo for at least 2 weeks. The fight against Coin and her Toxicroak is next, and doesn't last very long. Furge, my newly evolved Golbat, trivializes them into oblivion. Again, the friendship grind took too long. Functionally, I go from this being my biggest op to this. I need to grind as much as possible for this thing. Partway through grinding, however, I got a notification on Twitch. I have a redeem called Now or Never, where a chatter can wager 5 gifted subs and get me to fight the next boss then and there. If I win the fight, then I get the subs, but if I lose, I gift them to myself. Yeah, the gifted are to me, but that's beside the point. The Frosty Beans redeem this command to get me to stop grinding and fight the Ursaluna. Beans also redeem the nickname command to name Ralts Fodder and Onyx Pebbles. And what lovely names half of those are, I might add. The only silver lining is that I happen to still have Bodyguard on hand.
Go Bodyguard! Is there a chance I'm faster to begin with? Okay. Yeah, we just Water Pulse. Come on, Bodyguard, it's all up to you. Oh, it's almost a 2-hit. I know the damage calculations are so finicky in this game. See, Nick, you got that? Here's the thing. I think there's a chance that Water Pulse still doesn't kill in strong style, but we're dead to one more anyway. I could switch to Bankruptcy, but we can't one-shot them with Rock Smash. There's no way. Bodyguard is like the de facto early game carry. She was the one that took down Cleavor. I can't say for certain if a strong style is gonna do it, but you're about to find out. All right, Bodyguard, let's do it. Strong style Water Pulse. Baby doll eyes. No. Oh, that's what I'm saying. No, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Hey, at least Nub Nub can pick up the kill. I win, but at what cost? Just kidding, that's 5 gifted, baby! Well, actually, that's a lie. You may have noticed a big donation bar at the top of the screen. And I have that because Whistler Plays decided to make Nuzlocke and Load 3 a charity event. He partnered up with the British Red Cross, and throughout the whole tournament, all of the participating streamers were helping support the Quest for Kindness campaign. The campaign promotes positivity and kindness in online spaces, but it also helps provide aid to those who need it in Gaza, Ukraine, and Myanmar. I kicked off my attempt with a donation of my own, as I'm particularly passionate about Gaza, and now I've cut a deal with the Frosty Beans to instead donate whatever the gifted subs would have cost. Well, it was a pretty easy sell actually, I didn't really have to cut any deal. Thank you, Beans! Anyways, I don't think the campaign will be live anymore by the time I get this video out, but I've put some links in the description for other campaigns if you want to donate something yourself. Ever since the Volo fight, Unknown started running rampant, which means Jubilife Village is home to a free Pokemon. I was gonna catch the W Unknown and then name them Wukong, but I put it to a vote in chat, and instead I got the question mark. The consolation prize is that they're named W, short for Wukong. And yes, I don't plan on using anyone but W for the next Noble. Thornold, Furge, and even Fodder are as ready as they've ever been, but with a little bit of valuable grit investment, W is ready to carry. Yes, I used the 8-hole grit test. One of the reasons I'm so confident in W is that Hidden Power works differently in this game. It always is a super effective type, and on Pokemon with a 4x weakness, like Lilligant here, it's guaranteed to be 4x effective. The Noble Lilligant is arguably even more aggressive than Cleavor, but the delayed attacks don't feel nearly as bad as a result. And the flow of the fight is very smooth up until the chance for battle.
Oh, it's not considered a backstrike? Okay. Alright, what do you got, W? What do you got? Show Lilligant your powers. Stun Spore. Yo, Stun Spore misses. Let's go. Hidden Power Flying, 4x effect. Oh. It's a one and done. It's a one and done. It's a 2 and done. It feels wrong. It missed. It misses. Oh my gosh. W unknown the question mark. Sweep. Huge. If you had any doubts about my plan, then surely they've all but evaporated by now. Axe kicks and pedal dances are dealt with just as before, and that's a hitless Lilligant fight for both my Pokemon and me. I had gained something of a lead against others by this point. A large reason for that was because I had spent a good chunk of time off stream doing most of the tedious grinding, and because I happened to stream for large stretches of time for these first 2 days. Some players were spending their stream time grinding, while others sadly didn't even get a chance to yet.
Does Ursula just show up and is a chill guy? Oh my god, wait, it is a battle! Oh no. Okay. I'm scared.
Legends Arceus is a very brutal game, especially under the hardcore division's rule set. Seeing how others were being forced to reset, I was getting worried.
Nick, you did a mono-ground Nuzlocke of this game. Great video, by the way. How could this tournament be harder than that?
Well, very wise and cultured viewer, in that run, I could catch and release tons of Pokemon to get grit and level up stats with said grit to no limit. In Nuzlocke and Load 3, we aren't allowed to make extra captures like that. I could still get grit randomly from wild battles, but it's not nearly as consistent. So, some could argue that I wasted too much grit on W earlier, and to that I would have to pretend I didn't hear anything. The lion does not concern himself with criticism.
It's day 3, day 8, and the stream is kicked off by a few evolutions, one of which I would eventually regret. Put your votes in now! My Pokemon and I then enter the Cobalt Coastlands for the first time. The sound of the smooth waves gently caressing the sand led to a very relaxing and meditative experience. Psych! Battle time! Irida is back with Glaceon, hoping to get a win this time. And because Quick Attack lowers the recipient's action speed, me, instead of raising the user's, Eevee triggers a combo that doesn't seem to end. Yeah, doesn't kill. Agile, oh, I don't like that. Agile, Quick Attack, 171, that did 20. There's Quick Attack, it's playing out like I said it would. If Eevee does Quick Attack again, oh no. Wait, then Ice Beam? No! Oh, okay, cool. Frostbite doesn't activate too. Just kidding, we're so fine! Best Floaty finally debuts in a battle, and with the full attack and defense buff of Bulk Up, or at least a defense buff, Aqua Jet combos into Water Pulse to finish off the Glaceon. Eevee put up a fight, but Best Floaty came in clutch with the strategy of being twice the opponent's level. Yeah, not everybody could pull that one off. Like before, plenty of new Pokemon join the team, but there are only a handful of worthy of note. First off, I finally get the Eevee I've been waiting for in hopes of a Sylveon. Just another Pokemon that needs a dedicated hour of friendship to evolve. Definitely not a problem in a tournament like this. Technicality, the Duskull also joins, but mostly for helping to continue the story. I could have saved time by catching a Dusclops instead of grinding this one, so oops. Then I get the adorable Growlithe, who evolves right away and is named Lionel. This is another Pokemon that I would come to regret. Now I take to the seas, where the only encounter of note is Dawn Gastro the Gastrodon. Thanks for the name idea, Logan. Now this is where I would have also gotten a White Stripe Basculin, but the one I saw fled immediately, and the other one was overleveled. Yeah, it turns out we weren't supposed to catch overleveled mons before. Oops. At least we get one last team buff before the next fight. This mini stretch of the game is the second hardest part, right in front of the beginning and right behind Volo. But 100 Humans finally reaches his final form. The indomitable human spirit is still no joke. My protagonist monkey gets a clean one-shot on Abomasnow, and in the next battle, his speed makes it so that he can switch out before getting attacked. Furge finally loves me and returns to do the same to Toxicroak. It's more so the last misfortune sister we have to worry about. She has 2 Pokemon. Ooh. Things start off well enough with 100 Humans getting some free chip damage on Rhyhorn with Mach Punch. Then I commit a switch to Dawn Gastro because she's consistent, bulky, and strong. Ooh, whatever, let's just Water Pulse. Let's just regular Water Pulse. Yeah, we're fine. I am a little worried about Hex. They could also Agile style Hypnosis into Hex. They're just regular Hex. Ooh, we extra live, baby. Huh? What? Dude, wait, what?
Oh, what's that? I could have used the grit I used on W earlier on Don Gastro instead and would have avoided this? Okay, buddy, don't make me tap the sign. Anyways, there's no problem that bankruptcy can't solve. On the bright side, there is very little wait before we challenge the Noble Arcanine. And this one is a standout threat to me. If you guys have seen my other Nuzlocke of this game, you'd know that it got a knockout on me. In that run, my rule is that a Pokemon would take my place if I died. But in Nuzlocke and Load 3, you have lives. 5 lives in the Standard Division, 3 for Intermediate, and 1, or 0, or whatever, in Hardcore. If I die, I start over from the very beginning. I meant to practice this fight between streams, but never got around to it and just dove in headfirst. Things go according to plan at the start. The arena is narrow, but the fire spin in the middle isn't set yet. I'm able to put the Arcanine in a daze and battle before I know it. What the heck? They get an attack? Okay, I think I bulk up. If Aqua Jet doesn't let me, yeah, we need the bulk. We need the bulk. Good job, Best Floaty. Don't like that. Come on! Oh no. Dude, if they did strong style Rock Slide, it was over. And it would have 100% landed. Water Pulse. Okay, Best Floaty opens up the Noble for me to throw more chemicals at it. But once he comes to, he wastes no time in setting the fire spin. I did in fact have a plan for this part. Kite the Raging Furies so that he goes diagonally to the other platform, rather than back and forth on my platform alone. However, things did not go as well as they did with Cleavor. Oh! 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 Let's go, it reaches! Oh, okay, dude, that's such a hard throw. It's such a hard throw. And if I didn't reach, then he would have insta-killed me with that move. Oh my gosh. Whew, I am so glad that that's over. But the stream isn't. With only one major fight in that zone, we can continue progressing, and that means that back in Jubilee Village, we have to battle against Adaman. I was getting pretty worried about this fight, considering how Irita's went. But who knew? This was the perfect time to finally utilize my starter, Bullseye. He's got the brawn to swiftly eliminate his Eevee, and the agility to hit his Leafeon with a quick attack, another agile quick attack, and then finish him off with a strong style aerial ace. Speaking of getting moments, I finally evolve Angeled Eggs after committing my hard-earned Merit points to a Shiny Stone. I could have committed the Shiny Stone to Thornold, or got a Metal Coat for Pebbles or Wario, but that's okay, they can wait. And I evolved my unnamed Eevee. I had planned on evolving him into Sylveon, but chat advocated for Umbreon, and having a Dark type on the team just made sense. His name is now Hellbent. Coronet Highlands don't really give me any hard hitters, at least out the gate. There's a warm-up battle against Melee, everyone's favorite Pokemon character. Afterwards, I get Baja Bell the Bronzong and King Jinja the Ursaring to join the bench for now. However, after a little bit of grinding time with Pebbles, it was time to end the stream. And with that break, came the first weekly leaderboard. Let's go! It was actually supposed to come before the last stream, but the Whistler was busy whizzing it up or something. Coming in 5th so far is Logan. As of now, his furthest run was Ursaluna. And oh my goodness, with under 3 hours to get there? I'm pretty sure I was at like 15. 4th is I'm Jams. They also wiped at the Ursa fight earlier, but were able to make it to the Cobalt Coastlands in under 9 hours? What? Alright, Joe 8U is in 3rd at the same spot in under 6 hours? This person has done almost everything I have in one single stream. To be fair, I did prioritize my Pokédex completion earlier on, so I wouldn't have to worry about it later. But yeah, that might have been unnecessary. And coming in 2nd is Stitched Reels, who's also in Cobalt Coastlands. With 0 deaths? Alright, listen. I'm in 1st place right now, but that's purely because I've been no-lifing this. From what I could tell, after your distance in the run, deaths are the most important, followed by playtime and the attempt number.
In theory, if these streamers catch up to me, their death counts and playtimes will very likely be better. It's a very close tournament right now, and I need to lock in. Yeah, I was grinding more off stream and missed a backstrike. Thornell didn't stand a chance against that Zen headbutt, rest in peace. Between that instance and the loss of Don Gastro, I was so perturbed that I wanted to check out the other streamers' playthroughs. And while no one else was this far yet, I did find something else. Stitched, who's in second place, spent most of their last stream grinding. They had a very well thought out plan that incorporated grit dust acquisition, but more importantly, they said something that really inspired me.
And don't mind me, I'm actually just taking my time with this. Yeah, I might not be the fastest time in, but I'm also trying to do as best as I can.
I've been playing a lot of Nuzlocke lately, and I think that the Pokemon saturation I've experienced made me play a little sloppier than I should have. I don't think that I could say that I've been playing the best I can. I've claimed a bunch of decent Pokemon, sure, but I'm wasting a lot of time on Pokemon that I'm not gonna be using later at all. W was fun to use, but come on. I'm taking this as a sign. I'm gonna start playing in a way where I could say that I'm doing this the best I can. And Ingo is the perfect trainer to get back into the swing of things with. His 3 Pokemon cover each other's weaknesses very well. So the strat is to kite his switches in the same way that I kited Kleavor. I've also started planning for the final Volo fight, and have begun dedicating grit to Pokemon that I think I'll be using there. Bullseye isn't one that received any grit, but my expectations are completely surpassed, because he one-shot the Machoke. And it's very nice that he did, because Tangela comes in and her ancient power does way more than I expected. Not only that, but she gets an Omni boost. Very cool. Technicality actually joins for a fight, because her bulk is surprisingly not that good. If it weren't for the ancient power boost, Agile Leech Life into normal Leech Life might have been fine, but for now, Furge switches in instead. She uses a strong style Air Slash to get rid of the devious creature, while Gliscor takes her place to hit us with Aerial Ace. For a brief moment, I'm tempted to use Hypnosis, as it's given other competitors some pretty hype moments. But instead, I go to Hellbent, who's gotten a little bit of grit investment recently. He shakes off a Poison Jab, and begins to unleash his perfect moveset. Quick Attack gets free chip damage most of the time, and different combinations of Snarl and Calm Mind make Hellbent able to tank anything. But since this is my first time using him, I get Cold Feet, and Best Floaty takes his place to bulk up and finish the Gliscor off with Aqua Jet. Again, it might have been all over the place. It would have been easier to commentate if I just played more aggressively, but I played consistently, and that's what matters. While I've been grinding, Pebbles the Onyx became a favorite of mine. He remains unevolved for now, because I plan on using him for the melee fight, just like before. Either way, with a couple extra levels, I was feeling confident. No burn. Oh my gosh! I was no longer feeling confident. So we're in trouble here, actually. This is really bad. This is a really bad start. In case any of you have ever been curious as to how a Pokemon hits you 20 times in a row, it's when a Zubat does an Agile-style Gust. Are we Bulldoze? Skorupi's looking around. Gust. 60. So you got 2 hits just because? Oh, because of Agile style. That's how you do it. What, dude? No way! Oh. Honestly, high horsepower might have just taken out Skuntank. I thought I was smart. Hellbent provides support with Snarl, and the kicker, remember him, cleans up shop. With that, I'm very unsettled yet again, and have a Noble fight right around the corner. Luckily for me, I was able to purchase a Sunstone, so that overleveled Patillo from earlier can evolve into one of the best Pokemon in the game. The trick for the Noble Electrode fight is to keep moving. Electro Balls chase you the entire time, while you dodge self-destructing ally Voltorbs. This makes it very difficult to find openings to attack the Electrode, and I even get hit early on. Without hesitation, the Noble goes for Explosion and misses. This lets me go in and attack with La Toxica. However, even with the carefully used grit investment, Electrode still outspeeds and paralyzes us with Thunder. Wow, we're at grit level 6 in speed, by the way. I take this opportunity to set up Victory Dance, and the risk pays off. This is probably the best move in the game. Not only does it raise your stats, just like Bulk Up and Calm Mind, but it also raises our next attack's damage by 50% on top of the boost. Truly an insane move. The only problem at this point is, of course, the para.
If we freeze up, then an agile style attack into anything else wraps it up for my dancer. But she's one of the best and proves that by landing the poison jab after all. Electrode is obliterated and my bombs are sent flying. I bring the Hisuian Mimic down to a quarter before he begins attacking again. I get in a pretty good rhythm from here and mix my mobility with bomb throwing. But I get a little shook and end up getting hit not once, but twice. Actually thrice. It was clear that I wasn't on my A game, so when given the opportunity, we go into battle a second time. La Toxica is healed in between battles, and yet again, she gets paralyzed by the leading thunder. But that's all the luck that the Noble has, because La Toxica replicates the first battle to a T. Electrode faints a second time, and that guarantees our victory from there.
Not even worried once. Check the VOD.
As soon as I get to the Alabaster Icelands, I go straight to Ebrina's approach to pick up Heart Attack the Gligar. Heart Attack is very much a contender for Volo. Speaking of Volo contenders, I've also been training up Bob the Machamp and Wario the Scyther. Honestly, I've been underrating them, and they're gonna be key to getting through Volo deathless. Every other encounter that I cared about from here kind of falls apart. Somehow I failed to capture Basculin again? Why are they so timid? And I really wanted to get the Alolan Vulpix from Whiteout Valley, but it turns out you can only get it with a quest that only triggers if you've already gotten a regular Vulpix. I didn't get one earlier because I was worried about dupes, and instead caught Lionel the Growlithe in the only spot where it spawns. Yup, barely even used him. I also began to think about the legendaries that are legal encounters in this, and Manaphy is one of them, but the questline requires you to have a Buizel. Regrettably, I evolved mine, but Bazfloti has proved to be immense support to the team, so I can't be too upset. But then, I returned to Cobalt Coastlands to get one last shot at Basculegion. I messed it up, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. Well, it's about time I continue the story, and that means that we have to deal with another 1v2. 100 humans all but trivializes this fight, as Garrick's ice types have zero answers for my anime man. Heart Attack evolves with the help of the Razorfang I bought with my dwindling merit points, and is pivotal for Sabi. Bazfloti leads this 1v3, but that's only so that he could get rid of the Rhyperior ASAP. Now Heart Attack makes his debut. There's nothing left that these remaining mons can scare us with, and a couple mud bombs do the trick. And while the level cap increases with Braviary, I just charge in with Hellbent. This is where I really started to respect him, because after taking a Brave Bird, we're somehow able to use both Calm Mind and Dark Pulse in the same turn. It wouldn't have worked the other way around, or even with Snarl for some reason. They really needed to put like an action speed weight number for each move or something. The system was not nearly as clear as it should have been. Afterwards, I take a short break from PLA's grind to do a mainline game tier list that took a little longer than I planned. And this is where I should have called the stream for the night, because whenever I go later, I'm typically not on my A game. Instead, after grinding the very available Blissies and getting Bob and Bob alone to the level cap, I evolved Wario at level 50 and faced the final Noble Pokemon. If I were to rank the Noble fights by difficulty, Avalugg would honestly be in the middle. Electrode and Arcanine are definitely harder in my opinion, but I keep finding myself struggling with this fight's visuals. White attacks on a white screen with a bunch of white bloom feels like a mistake. I also panic roll and get hit really early on by a Mountain Gale, but after dodging an Ice Beam, I send out Bob. Because I'm so sure about bringing Bob to fight Volo, I've loaded him up with Grit. But it looks like even Mach Punch won't give us any advantage in the action order, so instead we use Bulk Up. And thank goodness we do, because Bob still gets taken to almost half. Thankfully, from there, an agile Mach Punch opens up the Avalugg to getting hit by a strong style close combat, and then snow bombs start flying. But the 6.5 hours of stream began to catch up to me, and I get caught by a combo move. See what I mean about the bloom? The Mountain Gales start flying again, and a mistimed dodge eventually guarantees that a later Gale hits me. Cool. At this point, I can recognize that I am not keeping up, and I decide to begin a second battle against the Avalugg. This time I use the newly evolved Wario so that he gets some screen time, and make the dumbest mistake of my career. Even though we're 6 levels under the level cap, Wario could still keep up in the same way that Bob did. But where I messed up was my move choice. For some reason, close combat was the only attack that did 4 times damage in my brain. But if I didn't go later, then it would have been so obvious to me in the moment that a strong style Iron Head would have taken out Avalugg. No! Oh!
Dude, what's wrong with me? Oh, that's really bad. Even though Hellbent finishes off the Noble, the fight isn't over yet. I'm tired, I'm rattled, and there's still Bloom. I felt like I had to do the second fight. I didn't have to. I absolutely didn't have to. That was a Volomon. That was a Volomon, 100%. What? Okay, we got it. Don't kill me in the aftermath. Oh my goodness. Did I stop healing? Did I stop healing at some point? Oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah, guys. Definitely playing this the best way I can. On the bright side, Volo's gonna be a lot more interesting now, I suppose.
Day 4 would be over by now if I had learned anything. But because I didn't, I go on to try to capture an Alpha Clefable to get ready for Volo. It spots me, I waste all of my spoiled apricorns, I initiate a battle since it becomes daytime, and it almost kills itself. But thankfully, my last Ultra Ball barely makes the capture.
This might be the A-team to get to the end, and I'm not joking. And they're not getting along. Alright.
Now, on the 5th day, thanks to other competitor Nez, I learned about a feature that could have saved a lot of stress. Charms! Apparently these items can function as straight health upgrades, and I bought 4 out of the 5 because I'm not that rich. Crazy how this was just a thing the whole time. Thanks, Nez. I also thought it'd be a great use of my time to spend 2.5 hours doing the entire Spiritomb quest. Yes, I already have a bulky dark type, but imagine the sauce. Also, the quest has accumulative rewards, including more grit. What can I say? I'm addicted.
I mean, like, obviously we didn't... Oh! Oh. Well, I can't use it. If I catch it, it would just be for my own personal collection. Oh, dude, it's so cute, though. It's so cute. I'm gonna use Mystical Fire, and if it lives, it's proven its worth. And I'll allow it to join me. Not in the run, but it'll join me. It wasn't meant to be. For the record, there is an award category for most shinies killed. They took that personally. Oh. Alright, this is the part of the game where we get banished for being different and end up proving ourselves to the Pokemon who are definitely not trying to be Mew. The first spirit pits us up against a Goodra, and this thing turns out to be the luckiest and most blessed by Arceus by far. He leads with a Shelter, which not only raises defense, but also obscures him, temporarily raising his evasion. In response, Bob and I play it safe with Bulk Up. However, Goodra has other plans and lowers our defense back to normal with Iron Tail. We can afford to keep applying pressure, so Bob uses Mach Punch to open them up for close combat, but close combat misses. Goodra then Agile Styles another Iron Tail into a third Iron Tail. These alphas get a rage boost or something, but I did not think that it would play out like this. Especially with Iron Tail's 75% accuracy? I guarantee you guys, if I tried that, I would have missed 2 hits and never gotten a defense drop. Well, rest in peace, Bob. There goes all the grit I just put in. Milky is the name of the Spiritomb, referencing the Milky Way, and her bulk gives her ample opportunity to one-shot the Alpha Zoroark. King Jinja has evolved and been added to the rotation as well, and just as easily takes out the Alpha Overquill. Man, Goodra should have gone like this. I really wanted to lead with Heart Attack on Benny, but Hellbent is the one with proper grit investment. They're gonna be faster. Power Gem. Thank the heavens it does nothing. This is where Hellbent truly begins to shine. Agile Calm Mind gives Hellbent the opportunity to use a boosted Dark Pulse to take out Miss Magius, and lets him live just about anything that comes in next, including a Quick Attack, and close combat from Sneasler, apparently. Even after using 3 moves, once I finally send out Heart Attack, they're free to go for a 4th. Yeah, that makes sense.
Heart Attack can without a doubt take them out from this range, but I'm questioning whether or not he'd survive an incoming attack afterwards. With Gardevoir and her special attacks waiting in the back, I'm nervous, but decide to risk it and bulldoze Sneasler regardless. Gardevoir comes out as predicted, but instead uses her one turn to set up Calm Mind. I gauge our damage output with Quick Attack, and deduce that a strong Poison Jab won't be enough. Angel Dex takes the field and eats a boosted Psychic. And oh my goodness. One Calm Mind won't be enough, and one Draining Kiss won't heal enough. So let's try again with Clutchable. Oh my goodness. Well, at least she can pull off her own Calm Mind and followed it up with a Draining Kiss. She isn't gridded that differently, I don't really get it. Benny wastes a turn with a Max Potion, but even still, we're not home free. Our Calm Mind reset because we did Agile Style, so it's gone early. Did it Agile? Strong Style kills us. No! You're kidding me. You're joking. Well, it's not looking great, folks. I estimated Benny being a problem, and I still underestimated him. Almost everyone is too weak to switch in now, and King Jinja does not want to be on the receiving end of Gallade's close combat. 100 humans is our only choice right now, and it doesn't look great. If Clutchable didn't get the defense drop, we would have been in such a good position. 100 humans. You're fast. You switch in for free. You switch in for free. They don't attack. They don't attack. What is with that lighting texture glitch? He's locked in. He's going Super Saiyan evil. Yeah, just regular Shadow Claw will do it. It has to. If I messed with the Seeds of Mastery and we did like Agile, Strong Style, whatever, I'd feel a little bit better here. Not Strong Style. Let's go! We live one! Agile Mach Punch. Just to get like some chip damage. Okay. So that was 30, up to 45 because of stab, cut in half to 23-ish because it resists. This goes up to 140. Shadow Claw doesn't do it. I think 100 humans dies here. But we have to do Shadow Claw or else Gallade sweeps. It has a higher chance to crit. All right, 100 humans. Super Saiyan Evil, please. I beg you. I beg you. I believe in you. Let's go! Dude, mathematically, it makes no sense. It makes no sense, but we did it deathless. Thankfully, Kamado isn't nearly as challenging for this team. With most of his Pokemon being on the slower side, he isn't able to be as aggressive as Benny was. Hellbent even somehow outspeeds Braviary, which lets him set up Calm Mind. Nothing the Mindful Bird could do would scare us at this point, and Hellbent goes crazy. Even Snorlax's Giga Impact barely phases us. So, after Snarl weakens his attack, King Jinja safely tags in with a Bulk Up. This is pretty much the flow I was looking for against Benny, and now we're chilling. Once Snorlax is taken out, Golem surprisingly tags in to use Stealth Rocks. I was convinced Clefable would be next with Water Pulse, but oh well. Goodbye, Golem. When the Clef does come in, she just isn't strong enough for King Jinja. Bankruptcy reminds everyone why he's so scary. A couple Iron Heads later, and we prepare to catch a Legendary. But oh my goodness, Hellbent makes this our easiest challenge yet. Snarl and Calm Mind are as great as they've ever been, and that guarantees Angel Degg's safety before we catch Palkia on our first try. Okay, dealing with Dialga will be a little more involved. At least it doesn't take long to begin the fight, because Pest Floaty and Bankruptcy take care of what many people consider to be the last battle in the game. I wasn't aware of this before, but apparently there is an opening for proper battle. You just have to prolong the Noble-like encounter. And I'm such a gamer that it's never come to that before. Once the final battle is engaged, and Palkia helps me subdue the God of Time, I dodge Dragon Pulses and Draco Meteors, and that's about it. After bringing Dialga to a quarter, I stall the attacks for what feels like forever. Then they start charging Roar of Time, which is my cue to go in. No way. Oh, we tank! We tank! Look, you go, Hellbent! We Snarl first. You're weakened. Oh my gosh, I did so much to you still. We're level 0 in attack. It doesn't lower our defense. We Calm Mind just for some damage chip. We might as well, even though we are taking a lot of damage already. More than we were against Palkia. But this won't hurt at all. Flash Cannon. Huge. Let's do an Agile Dark Pulse first. Agile first.
Strong Style's not that much stronger, though. I feel like we can do it. I don't want to get hit twice and then our Calm Mind wears off. I think if we play it smart, we switch. No, we only got one turn of Calm Mind off so far. You know what? Let's just do regular Dark Pulse. Wait, no, we did Agile before. Strong Style does it. Strong Style does it. Come on, Hellbent. Come on, Hellbent. You got it. Let's go! Hellbent only run. I think that does it. Let's go. Let's go. We can solo. So it's a solo run. It's a solo run. Sorry it took so long for you guys to find out. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. Oh, I love this song so much. Burn it. Burn it. Oh. Burn it.
Now it's time for the final stream. At this point, I still firmly believe that if I beat Volo deathless, then my time in this run will be irrelevant. The Week 2 leaderboards are here by now, and things look a little different. Good Guy GK is now in 5th place. Still on attempt 1 as I am, and low-key kinda prospering. A couple deaths here and there aren't too bad as long as they're able to stabilize later on. Sadly, for Logan the Cosmonaut, this meant that he was getting bumped off the top 5. The game can really be a grind, so I don't blame him for taking a breather. Joe8U has been bumped to 4th. That one stream put in a lot of work, I tell you. Stitch Drills is also bumped, this time to 3rd. Unfortunately, they had a similar experience that I once had to Arcanine, and while deathless, was forced to reset. Now Stitched is going again strong, 2 attempts later, determined to go deathless. In 2nd there's... oh my gosh. I Am James is actually on attempt 2, but the run back after the Ursaluna loss is insane. 14 hours, huh? Yeah, I'm in 1st, but still, that's a technicality. But there is still Volo at the end. I strongly believe he's one of the hardest fights in the series, and if I'm able to beat him with 0 deaths, then my playtime should be irrelevant. In order to initiate a Volo fight, we need to get the rest of Arceus' plates. For the most part, this entails catching a bunch of legendaries after throwing mud and or snow at them. It's actually somehow more effective than it was against Clutchable. And this time, the Regigigas battle was made pretty easy thanks to Catalyst the Driftblim and Baja Bell the Bronzong's Bulk. They chipped enough away at Reggie to put them to sleep, and it was a 1-ball capture. And other than those guys, Kamado is blocking the last plate. Heracross is added to his team, and it actually makes routing this fight super difficult. The extra coverage of a fastish Mon completely changes the dynamics of this battle. He leads with Golem this time, so I lead with Clutchable. I planned on setting up Calm Mind before Ice Beaming, but didn't have the action speed. So instead, we attack and they live. But they waste a turn healing anyways. It seems like setting up the Calm Mind and just taking the damage was the only play after all. His Snorlax comes out and I'm tempted to Draining Kiss off the damage. But it makes much more sense to send in the Evolved Technicality. Again, nothing wrong with a little Calm Mind. We take some damage, but the boosted Leech Life, Fire Punch, Burn, and follow-up Leech Life feels pretty great. Our stats returned to normal while the Clefable entered, but it's no biggie, and Baja Bell tags in. Between Iron Defense, a critical extrasensory, and Hypnosis landing again, I'm baffled. Perhaps I underutilized you, Baja Bell. But we're low, so Angeled Eggs finishes them off. A Draining Kiss then deals with Braviary, undoing all their damage. And finally, Heracross is backed into a corner, while Angeled Eggs completes his reverse sweep. One of my big misplays in the run was not planning out the encounters accordingly. Missing out on Basque Legion, Manaphy, and Alolan Vulpix hurt a lot. But I do have one last saving grace. Legendaries are legal, meaning the Heatran, Regigigas, and most importantly, the Cresselia are all legal. However, Cresselia is the only one that I need for Volo, because frankly, she's so overpowered that she has the chance to sweep. Her name is Always. There's no nicknaming thing, by the way. On stream, they're usually just in the moment. One last note, I didn't want to extend my playtime any further by grinding grit for Volo. So instead, I opted to release a bunch of Pokemon from my box. They don't count as deaths, and I only released the ones that I hadn't used. But it still felt bad. I stopped right before releasing the ones with sentimental value, and fed all of the rest of my grit to the final 6. I'm leading with Clutchable to take care of Volo's Spiritomb. But honestly, with this set, I might be able to do more. I presume Roserade would be next, so if I need to, then Hellbent will be perfect. He should bait Lucario, and since I'm expecting close combat, that'll make way for Always. Lunar Blessing heals and raises evasion. It's overpowered. In the case that I would have to switch for Arcanine, Heart Attack would counter him. Togekiss should easily get overpowered by King Jinja. And Angeled Eggs is my hard counter for Garchomp. All of these guys are gridded as much as cousinly possible right now, and are individually prepared for Giratina. And it's a little girly pop, but especially in later gens, the girly pop Pokemon are the best. Good luck, thank you. Also, rate the fit. Rate the fit 1 out of 10. The team and I begin our final challenge, and when I send out Clutchable, my master plan kicks off with a Calm Mind. At worst, they could use Hypnosis, but also Hypnosis could miss, so I feel like they won't do that. Drats. While Clutchable stays too drowsy to attack for a turn, in the follow-up attempt, she uses Draining Kiss, knocking out Spiritomb and healing off all of the damage taken. Even if we got crit. Roserade switches in as predicted, but instead of Poison Jab, they use Spikes? I'd rather Clutchable not be asleep for the Giratina fight, but status is usually reset between battles, so I just stick to the plan and switch to Hellbent. Again, they use Spikes? And here's where we could have played a little more optimally. Calm Mind boosts us up, while Snarl weakens them and brings them under half. Wow, okay, Dark Pulse might have done it. Either way, the incoming damage was so pitiful that it didn't really matter, and Hellbent gets his kill. Lucario is next. Things are going well. Until... Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. No. Uh-oh. Bulk up is scary. But they did bulk up before Bullet Punch, so we're good. Like, Bullet Punch would hurt, and bulk up? Ooh. Alright, you know what? Just go to Always. Go to Always, and then we do Lunar Blessing. Oh, dude, no. No, Bulk Up Crunch is nasty. Usually when I change my plans, that's when something bad happens. But with the use of Bulk Up instead of Close Combat, I have no choice but to send in Heart Attack early. He's gridded mostly in defense. And still, Crunch does that much? Fortunately, he's able to pull off a kill with a double Bulldoze, in spite of the Bulk Up boost. I knew it'd be a risk taking out a Pokemon from this health, because Heart Attack could get one-tapped by a special attack from his Togekiss. But luckily, the Arcanine takes the field instead. It's Arcanine. Okay, Rock Slide is neutral. Uh-oh. Raging Fury. Strong Style does it. Regular Style does it because they're fixated! Oh, no. Yeah, and that was... Oh, man, that's after the defense investment. Well, no Deathless Volo. He's probably Hypercutter anyway. True! Too bad for him, though. Heart Attack's death lets Always come in for free. They're fixated, so they take more damage, but even a Calm Mind boosted Psychic doesn't take them out. We do get a defense drop, however, so even though they heal, our next attack does the job. Volo's Togekiss is a little annoying, in that she has the exact same strategy as half of my Pokemon. Calm Mind setup. As a result, this turns into a very long stall match. And it doesn't help that they get 2 attack drops in a row from Moonblast. We continue to heal up with Lunar Blessing, and the secondary effect of obscuring and raising our evasion doesn't seem to matter. It becomes nighttime by the time we win the matchup, and Togekiss missed 0 attacks. I thought Obscuration was better, but I'll take what we can get. Alright, Garchomp is here. About to hit me 4 times in a row. Fortunately, I think the Calm Mind only wears off when it becomes my turn. Okay, it lowered my defense with that 1 attack. Wow. You know, Lunar Blessing makes incoming moves more likely to miss. Did they know that? I don't think anyone knows that. I need to heal up to get ready for the Giratina. There we go! See, it's a thing. It's a mechanic in the video game. All right, now we Ice Beam. We're not boosted because... Oh, no, we are. This should kill. This should kill. Could have been way worse. Lunar Blessing is cracked. Lunar Blessing is cracked. I'm really surprised they allowed the legendaries on the spreadsheet. It was Cresselia, Heatran, and Regigigas. Cresselia is like the only good one in the endgame though. Volo is defeated, but he runs it back with the summoning of Giratina. I'm actually not sure if he's controlling it or if he's just being a type man, but regardless, it needs to go down. Clutchable leads? I learned that if Clutchable, my lead, died, then I would have instead led with my most recently sent out Pokemon. Shadow Force, we tank. We do not tank. Okay, we can at least Calm Mind and Draining Kiss. Even if Draining Kiss misses, we'll have the defense boost, which is nice. But that did a significant amount of damage. I was expecting that kind of damage from some... Oh. I was expecting that kind of damage from something like Origin Form. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. Does that mean the Agile style doesn't activate and we get hit twice? Oh boy. We just have to go for Draining Kiss. Oh no, dude, Shadow Forms. If Wigglytuff was in this game, Wigglytuff would be an immaculate lead. I'm just putting that out there. Clutchable not living up to the name? Well, here's the thing, Magnus PKMN. This Draining Kiss is gonna land, and it's gonna heal us back to full. Oh, Ginger! Oh, dude! Good timing, guys. You got here just in time to see Clutchable miss 2 Draining Kisses and die to a Shadow Force. Well, this sucks. Okay, so what's the plan now? I have to go to Angel Eggs. Run it back with Angel Eggs. Okay, Calm Mind, and then Draining Kiss will be fine. Angel Eggs is gonna pop off here. Look at that. You see that Calm Mind boost? They're gonna run out of Shadow Forces until phase 2. I think they have 10, and they've only used like 4. But check this out. Angel Eggs is not gonna miss Draining Kiss. What is happening? Dude, all 3? I was obscured earlier with my Cresselia, and they only missed once. It's only over if you get a Draining Kiss. Okay. And it's a crit. See, we're chilling. Okay, see, we're so back. We're so back. Oh, Shadow Force is gonna be a problem in phase 2, though. Alright, Angel Eggs, this is what you're all about. You are Volo's antithesis. Angel Eggs truly proves his place on the team by finishing off the first phase of Giratina, and remains completely unfazed in front of the demonic Origin Form. Okay, Shadow Force. That's fine. Calm Mind and then Mystical Fire, I think, honestly. No, we have the Draining Kiss. Stop it, Ace. Never play Sonic 06 again? I was very mad for all of it, yeah. Yeah, you're allowed to not play it again. By all means, you're allowed. Okay, Angel Eggs. You have 2 shots. You have 2 shots at this, Angel Eggs. Do not miss Draining Kiss. You've got 1 shot at this, Angel Eggs. Do not miss this. Okay, we're back. We're so back. Did it not heal up as much as I was hoping? How did we get 2 turns in a row? That was... How did we even... Okay, if we do Strong Style Moonblast, it's double. Strong Style Moonblast lands. Okay. Angel Eggs, you have 1 opportunity to get this right. You have 1 opportunity to get this right. Oh, I didn't do Strong Style. We got it! Let's go! Okay, dude. Oh my god. This game's so easy, guys. Some of you don't understand that. Is Angel Eggs misspelled on purpose? What? Is it? Maybe. My finishing stats are 9 deaths in just under 48 hours on attempt 1. I completed my run just before the week 3 leaderboard, and the whole tournament lasts 6 weeks. I'm within my Nuzlocking rights to do it again and try for a better run on attempt 2, but I'm pretty satisfied with my 1 attempt. Also, I don't want to appear too sweaty in front of the other contestants. Some of which only just began their runs around the time I finished mine. The competition includes dozens and dozens of players among 3 divisions, so really anything can happen. But hey, in the meantime, I still have some time left in my stream. Let's fight Arceus. Me gazing upon Arceus for the first time. Lock in time. Oh, my bad. He like teleports at some point, I think.
Oh, right, there's that. I forgot about that. What's he doing? Oh! No. No! No! Oh, that's how that works? No, wait, I don't remember what this one does. Wait, it's the same one as before? I don't recognize the blue aura. Oh. Surely you'll tire out at some point. I hesitated. What the? No, dude! It slowed down. I was one away.
The lion does not concern himself with canon. I play it out to see how it would go, and when it gets to the battle phase, King Jinja just kinda gets doubled up on with Judgment. Okay. Angel Deck weakens them with Mystical Fire, but gets taken out just the same. And 100 humans takes their place and completely overpowers the Poké God. You know, that gorilla never stood a chance anyways. Anyways, it's a good thing this tournament only goes up to Volo. Now, let's jump ahead 3 weeks and see how the final tournament bracket panned out.
Today is Monday, June 9th, and the tournament is finished. And, it's hot. I don't have my AC on, so my mic doesn't pick it up. But before we get to the Hardcore Divisions bracket, let's see how the other awards went. I've been eyeballing a few for myself, to be honest. The most deaths without wiping went to a streamer known as Lynx. They were in the Hardcore Division as well and grinded out the game later on. Best dressed went to Scamper Blaze, and not gonna lie, they do have that fit on though. Worst luck went to Girthquake1, who had insane RNG against the rival fight. The fight looked about as bad as Volo. Biggest mistake went to Sawbones, who joined the Hardcore Division from Intermediate, and on one of the runs got swept by Volo because Cresselia pretended not to notice. Fun fact, that's a thing apparently. While the first shiny might have gone to Starlight Lime and her shiny Kricketot, and the best shiny award went to Tomo Parker and their immaculate timing, the most shinies killed award goes to Sawbones. I might have killed that Budu, but my bloodlust was no match for theirs. But at least I was the first to finish the run. At least I'm a little gaming. Also, the Pokemon declared to be MVP across the board is Umbreon. Hellbent contributed to that a little, so we take those. The funniest clip went to Good Guy GK, who, deserved better.
If Furry dies because he can't beat a rock Pokemon one level over him. And that's it for Furry. I hate everything.
Kelzion got the closest call award, where Nugget, her shiny Geodude, almost met Arceus early. Now, the best sport award actually goes to me. I was nominated by Nez because we chatted a little bit about PLA strategy in order to help out their run. Glad I could help, and thanks for the nomination. Sawbones also got another award for most impressive strategy. They had an entire document planning out their run, which is, dare I say, impressive. And to put a bookending on the awards, Lynx completed their run with the fastest time of 26 hours and 55 minutes. Maybe I should have skipped those cutscenes. And for the moment of truth, the overall winners. When it came to the standard and intermediate divisions, Toys Online and Nez won them respectively. Let's go. And in the hardcore division, coming in 5th place is Good Guy GK. Sadly, at 72 hours, he just barely wiped to Giratina. In 4th is I Am Jams, who also made it to Volo, but at an insanely fast time. But again, Giratina had too many shenanigans. 3rd place is home to Lynx. Out of nowhere, at under 27 hours, they beat the game. Even with that death count, it's a really impressive run. And in 2nd place of the Nuzlocke and Load 3 hardcore division is me. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of my run overall. And if I were to do it again on a 2nd run for maybe better stats, it probably wouldn't have worked out. I used all my patience on the one run. In first, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, is Sawbones. They entered the hardcore division with a plan and stuck to it. 2 deaths and 32 hours is an insane run, and while it says attempt 5, that 5th one was the first attempt on the hardcore division. GG Sawbones, Nez, Toys, and everyone else. I had a great time with this tournament, and while I didn't come in first, at least I could say that I was the quickest to finish. Dude. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and shout out to Whistler Plays for hosting this tournament. PLA is a very weird game for Pokemon standards, so setting up this tournament and everything else must have been a huge undertaking. I can't wait for Nuzlocke and Load 4, whatever game that takes place in, but in the meantime, I've linked Whistler and all of the other competitors in the description, so be sure to check them out and show some support. I also plan on continuing to upload varying Nuzlocke runs, so if you're interested, I'd really appreciate you leaving a like and subscribe and sticking around. Also, don't forget to donate if you haven't already. But other than that, that's about all I've got for you today. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one.